Hey everyone, this is JD. Welcome to the demo for MOTORSLICE, a hack and slash parkour-y kind of game. I've seen bits and pieces of this on the dev's YouTube channel. I will have that linked in the description if you want to go see what they're working on. And of course, you can find this on Steam, the demo. Recommend playing it for yourself whenever you can, but let's get to it. We're going to start the demo. I've beaten this before. I've gone out and gotten as many of the collectibles as I could, but we're going to play this straight. So this demo takes place shortly after P's arrival at the megastructure. Get in, limit all the machines, and get out. That was a job, but things are never that simple. Comms with Central Slices is dead. Her drone Orbi has lost all functionality, and she must reach the top. Failure is forbidden. Alright. Also, this is my second real attempt at using a face cam for videos, so we're gonna see how this goes. I might make it a permanent stay, might not, I don't know. Let's get moving, P. Alright. Here we go. And the sounds are very nice. The movement is... it takes a little bit to get used to, I will say. But once you get the hang of it, it's not too bad. And we're just going to go right through the game. It shouldn't take that long. I believe the estimated time is about 30 to an hour. But we shall see. Oops. Right, that's not the way. Forward. I haven't played this in a little bit. There are certain features that are still not available in the demo, of course. I know, it seems like P wants to talk. Oh, do I have a thing I can do here with that? Ah, yes, I can. Slack off. Tower.
Are you slacking already, Orby? Jeez, no idea why. You're just floating. Well, I still have to climb all the way up.
P voiced by the amazing Kira Buckland. I know her as Jolene Cujo from Stone Ocean. Please, let's take this for a while.
Fine. That tower won't be leaving anytime soon.
Alright. There are quite a few slack off sections in the game. I'll be trying to hit all of them. They're not too hard to find. They're not really even that far out of the way. They are quite hard to miss. And so we'll be taking as many opportunities as we can to appreciate the writing and, of course, the character models. Alright, our first taste of combat. Right now, there's only one enemy type, not including the boss, and they die in one shot. But similarly, P will also die in one shot. So, which I'm fine with that. It means the combat won't be so sluggish or won't be too cumbersome or take too long, which is nice. Always appreciate a game that appreciates your time. Hold to MOTORSLICE. Welcome to the city. Not quite welcome to the jungle, but there's another slack off section over here. Easy job. And while slacking off,
Readings didn't
coffee.
detect a structure this big. You know, Orby, if I knew it, I wouldn't have accepted this contract. So much for an easy job.
Why don't we have some fun? Yeah. Alright. Back into it. The slack off sections seem to be something of a checkpoint kind of system. Not checkpoint kind of system, but as a way of showing that you have made some progress. Ooh. First death. I died quite a bit just messing around with the game the first time. Which, I mean, I'm not guaranteeing that I'm not going to die again, but... Wow. Well, it's okay. As everyone knows, people tend to suck more when they're being recorded than when they're playing on their own. Without the prying eyes. Alright. All you can do is you can hold the chain to unleash an attack. Which, I haven't found much of a use for that. But it's okay. I'm sure it'll be more handy as this game continues to develop. There we go. It is a good way to get a one-up on the enemy, it seems like. Gotta stop, drop, and roll kind of thing. Which can lead to deaths like those. But the one thing I do like is that, you know, not only do you die in one shot, but you do recover quite quickly. The respawn is quite fast, which is nice. Which, you're thinking, you think it's good that you die in one shot? And, like, if the game calls for it, then yeah. Like, if the enemies are designed the same way, why shouldn't die? You know? It still gives challenge. Just gotta be more on your toes as things go. There we go. There we go. Alright, where are we going? So we came out this way. Ah, here we go. The gate. Which, it's weird that I'm already getting, not lost necessarily, but just can't remember where to go. It has been a little bit since I've played this, but not that long. But I'm not going to act like my memory is anything great, because it isn't. There we go. Took care of that. Ah, that's concerning. I wonder what that is. I'm sure it's nothing. I really like the MOTORSLICE feature quite a bit. You can kind of strafe up and down, which can also kind of screw you over. If you're just kind of messing around, if you go too far up or too far down, you will fall. Grasp used to climb, and for some reason I'm back to how parkour works in Infamous, so I keep mashing the jump button to want to get higher up. There we go. The parkour in this is really nice. As I said, it does take some time to get used to. There are some trial and error bits, of course, but it's not a problem. There we go. And I do like the speed at which P will traverse these cracks in the walls. Ooh. Usually, in climbing and such in video games, there is too much slowdown. Gotcha. There we go. Just slicing our way through. There we go. That's how it's done. Whoopsie, that's death. That is one thing that I've seen complaints about, and I've come to kind of agree with, is once you are going, you cannot manipulate your air movement. You're pretty much just stuck to whatever like direction you jumped in, which is very old school NES Castlevania kind of thing. So it's not like there hasn't been a precedent for it, but that doesn't mean that it feels the best. But it is one of those things that you can get used to, and it's not inherently bad. It's just we are all kind of so used to, you know, having more air control that not having it, having us commit to our jumps, is more unusual now. That's okay. Each game has its own different controls, and it's okay. Alright. This is a fun little segment. Don't get cut. Don't get caught. Oof. Nasty. Little timing puzzle. I think we're fine on that cycle. Yep. Oop. That was not good. But that's okay. Again, I really am glad that the death and respawn is so quick. It means you can get right back in the action. There we go. Whew, that was fancy. About as fancy as it gets for me, I guess. There we go. And we're just gonna wait for that to go up, then go back down. Whoa! Once again, committing to jumps. Just gotta take it more carefully. Alright. Nothing about the game, but I've noticed I found myself being more self-conscious now that I have the camera going. Like, obviously, like, playing the game well or not is one thing. But then, like, just... I haven't ever really done content with a face cam before, so... I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm nervous or anything, it's just... It's different. I am more aware of my physical actions, or I have to be more aware of them. There we go. Progress at last. Gotta wait for that one to move. Whew, that was cutting it a bit too close. There we go. That stuff. I jumped way too early. That is one thing I do like, is that the checkpoints are very generous. So, that is nice. Especially when you have a lot of deaths on the board. There we go. Alright, here comes something interesting. To interact with objects. There we go. So this is fun. Using the block to help you get up to a higher space. Which, that took me a while to figure out that you could do that. Alright. Let's see. That's for an orb. We're not going to worry about that. But let me show you real quick. So, that flowing orb, you can take them with you, and you can bring them to like kind of a drop site, where they won't drop, but they'll go up in the air and go towards back to HQ or whatever. Right now, they don't serve any purpose. Like, there's nothing to unlock as it is a demo. But they are fairly decent tests of your own skills and your movement in the game. You can get them in different ways, too. Like, there's one... Excuse me. There is one near the end of the game where you have to push a block to grab it. Which kind of reminds me of some of the Mario games where they have the star coins. You can, like, those shells, add them to grab the star coins. Pretty cool. There should be a slack off spot around here soon. There's another one. Beton Tech.
Central says we have an interference. But wasn't Baton Tech supposed to be motor-proof? I don't want to replace my headset. It's still working fine. You're made of Baton, Orby. What's your view?
We are really close!
What are you looking at?
She's cute. I like her character model a lot. Alright, up we go. There is kind of one thing I wish that she would do. When you reach like the top of those, I wish she'd kind of do a flip up, which is kind of pulling from Kingdom Hearts for that one. Where in KH2, Sora would pull himself up with a flip from a ledge grab. Anyway. There we go. Air slice. Thought I heard crackling. Not sure if that was in-game or in my headset. I'm hoping that was in-game and not my headset. Alright, I know they're... Oh, how do you do this scan? What is it? Yeah, there's one over there. There we go. Which, you can't have a game like this without your eagle vision or detective vision or whatever you would like to call it. And that is not like a knock against it, but rather we're at the point where like not having them would be kind of weird. I don't remember ever interacting with that. I believe that's bonus. Anyway, we're not going to deal with that. There we go. Very, very smooth feeling. Like it a lot. There we go. That is not a slack off zone. But those trees are interesting, the cherry blossoms. It's cool to see stuff like that in such a, I guess, such a dusty location. Come on, you want some of me? No, you don't. And through those holes in the ground, will lead us back to the dark room that we were in a while ago. There we go. And up we go. And over there. That's the boss. We're not quite there yet. There's still some more yet. There we go. which it is kind of clumsy, or not clumsy, it's kind of reckless to go in to a room like this without first scoping it out, like that. But it's okay, because I don't care. It's not that big of a deal. With checkpoints being as kind as they are, and with death and respawning being as quick, it doesn't matter that much to me. Like, obviously, I'd rather not die, but it's not that big of a deal. Ooh, that was good. That was quick. I've seen a lot of people complain about this game, just in general. Which, there are things that I can understand, and then things that are just, like, really... not even nitpicky, just like... I feel insecure. I don't know, it's just... I've seen bizarre complaints hurled at this game. I don't know. It just bothers me. Like, it's a fun game. It's also very early. But... I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna say I'm not cynical about games and such. Like, I have a lot of things I have problems about with a lot of games, but... I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm trying to get at. It's okay. There we go. And... alright, I've forgotten... oh, right. Okay. There's another orb over there, too. Which we're going to... I don't think that one is mandatory, but it certainly feels like it. There we go. Like, obviously, you can get up here without grabbing the orb. But it does kind of feel like you're supposed to get it. Which is fine. I would like to move that coffee heater to the other side of my desk. I hate having to reach under the mic arm. Alright. Ooh. I thought that didn't work out. It's okay. Alright. Whoa, that's death, that's death, that's death. I will say, getting wall running to activate is a little bit difficult at times due to strange angles. But nothing that you can't learn yourself into getting used to. Let's slack off again. Holes. A book and a movie.
Hey, look. I found some weird holes.
Mm-hmm.
Are they connected to something?
You're such a good girl. Alright. And I do believe that is the last slack-off zone before our boss encounter. Okay, we're gonna... yeah, I say we're gonna wait for the cycle to... there we go. Which, the first boss encounter is really neat. It's... as someone who has not played the game, it feels very Shadow the Colossus-esque. and how you are to beat it, which you will see. That's also a game I really should play, is Shadow of the Colossus. I had it on the PS3, so not like I don't have access to it. Here we go. Big old dump truck. It is cool. The hugeness of the truck makes me feel like I'm a toy or whatever. I think my webcam's acting up, or it looked like it was for a second there. That's concerning. Anyway, but like I was saying, the size of it makes me feel like a little that's death. Makes me feel like just like a little bitty toy, kind of like a chibi robo or whatever. All right, let's try that again. Just weave between the tires of death there. Oh, that's weird. This section hates my webcam because the frames just dipped as soon as I jumped onto that. I don't know what's going on with that. That's strange. I'm hoping that's just the OBS view is making it look like it's chunky and not how it actually is. But it's not a big deal if it is or not. Alright. We're going to MOTORSLICE into this. There we go. And that is how you harm it. You MOTORSLICE into the, well, the sliceable parts. And that's how you deal damage. Like how it has, like, eyes on it. Alright. The camera's also another thing it took me a while to get used to. It's very free feeling, but also it's almost too loose, you know? Like, I don't know how really to describe it that well. Like, it's nothing I can't get used to because I have gotten used to it, but I don't know. Alright, up we go. Alright, the last portion. Its little head thing there, which we're just going to wait this out. There we go. And that should be the end of it. That's it. And that's the demo for MOTORSLICE. Pretty cool. Thanks for playing. So you want more? Yes, I do. Plus bosses. Plus chapters. Plus slice of life. Plus enemies. Plus features. Plus mecha structure. Plus P. More, please.
Wish list now.
All right. Well, that was 30 minutes. Very cool. Died 11 times. Not bad. All right. Well, that that's going to be it for the episode. Thank you all so much for watching. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.